Hi, how are you?
Buenas tardes. I'm very good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Very, very happy to have you here. Thank you for
Very
this
happy to be here.
invitation.
I'm very happy to be here too. Thank you for having me.
Where are you right now?
Well, I'm in my hometown actually, here in Romania. Just got out of the TV station where I am having my activities, and I couldn't wait for this interview. I was so excited about it.
And any word in Spanish? Any Spanish at all or nothing?
I understand a bit, or I can say I understand Spanish because I often go to Spain. But so far as for talking, I might need to learn more.
Don't worry about it, Carmina. It's for me a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much again for having this conversation with me. And we want to know a little bit about you, about your roots, about your dreams, about all this journey to walk to Miss Universe pageant. So I would like to know first of all, when this dream started about? When was it? When you were a little girl, or maybe a little bit older. Tell me a little bit about your dreams.
I believe being a Miss or even more being Miss Universe Romania has been one of my dreams ever since being young, as a young girl. But I believe I kind of hid it down within myself because growing up a tall and shy girl, I faced different problems such as bullying and other, environmental problems growing up that I managed to successfully overcome.
Hmm.
And it's amazing where life brings you. That's all I can say. That I realized at 20 years old that my dream to become Miss Universe Romania was a real dream, and I'm glad I achieved it. Although my choice to go to the casting of Miss Universe Romania came quite spontaneously, I don't regret it, and I'm enjoying every single second of it.
I'm very glad to know that right now mental health is not just a taboo. It is like a reality that young people um, start talking about it, and it's a huge coincidence that many of the girls that is going to participate in the next Miss Universe pageant is going to talk about that reality that some way somehow you have been victims in a little period or a long period of your lives, in your teenage years, in your childhood, and how the bullying is affecting even more and more young society all over the world.
That's right. Unfortunately, I believe everyone goes through some kind of negative happening in their life, unfortunately. But I also believe it's up to us to overcome it. And I believe that if we meet the right persons, if we get the good advices and learn from our experiences, be them good or bad, I believe that is the solution to improving our mental health by ourselves. Otherwise, being a spokesperson or a role model, such as and having such a strong platform, just like Miss Universe, I believe that can be of good help to our society.
And in your life, what could be the most dramatic chapter to realize that you need help, that you needed uh, to be helped with by someone that you can uh, trust, or an expert, and start changing your life? What could be that hardest chapter of your life?
Well, I believe childhood, in general, is the most beautiful, but also the most maybe difficult for some people. For the most difficult period to overcome for some people. I was lucky to have a loving family, a good environment growing up, a healthy one. My parents always supported me and were always by my side on everything that happened. And I was lucky to have this attitude growing up. uh, brought up by my parents, saying, as long as you are happy with yourself and you work to be your best self, then you need to listen to the opinion of others. But as long as you know that you're doing right, then go ahead and do your thing, and we'll support you just as you are. Whatever happens, this is the advice, and the maybe the most powerful or meaningful thing that my parents said to me growing up. And I kept it in my mind all the time. Just be yourself and do your thing because you're doing great.
And actually, family is the biggest support that anybody can have in their lives. When you have the support of your parents, uh, probably you have the tools and the weapons to be in a better way, in a more secure way to act in life. Tell me about your family. How is composed of? You have brothers, sisters. Tell me a little bit about your family.
Well, I grew up in a big family. I have another younger sister and two brothers. So we were six growing up. I grew up in a loving family. My father used to call me his little princess. And I had the chance of having a very, very loving family again. And they supported me and my siblings the same in doing what we like, not especially what was needed from us to do or to be. And they always encouraged us to follow our passion. Even when I told them, I want to study history, for example, that is a very unpopular choice. Okay, for studies. At least here, most of the people, most of the children my age would have chosen medicine or uh, law school, maybe even the police academy. But for me, growing up and realizing that I love history and I love stories the most, when I said to them, I want to study history, their reaction was wow. I mean, they were so supportive and just so there for me. But they was like, okay, do you like it? Are you sure you want to study it? Because that's what you're going to do maybe for the rest of your life. And the same went for my sister, for my other two brothers, and they grew up loving to share, knowing to empathize with one another and with other people, and I believe that this family that I grew up in and that brought me to life and in this world was and is one of the best things that could have happened to me, that I'm lucky to be enjoying, and they were uh, one of the factors that also made me join Miss Universe Romania, because I asked first before filling out the form what their opinion was, and they said, "What are you waiting for? Go ahead." And look where that brought me.
That's very nice to hear, and also even that is not very popular, the career that you chose, history. I Let me tell you that I admire you so much and applaud you so
Thank
much because
you.
I love history. I love and every time that I work as a journalist in entertaining, and every time that I have to do an interview, even that I love history, I love to read history biographies and all that stuff. I always am comparing uh, 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 people in history to nowadays personalities. In your case, can you tell me a little bit of your reflection or your understanding about beauty pageants with I don't know, in history, very famous queens as Cleopatra or Catherine the Great or Queen Victoria. Do you realize, or do you have that I don't know, that understanding about the history about beauty pageants, depending on all those queens, those royal queens?
Yes, well, to start from the start, that fact you said that you always compare situations to the past. I believe that's a common a common fact for us historians. We always look in the past and try to compare our situation in the present from with other situations from the past. But as for your questions, yes, studying history and especially universal history highlights, or one of its highlights is beauty and the history of women, of femininity, and of the standards in society that women had and have. So looking over back in history, from Cleopatra, as you said, or from women that were so beautiful, that were even becoming or named goddesses throughout their life or even after their death, is amazing to see just how far we have come as a half of our society, of how much we have improved and progressed in our empowerment, in our social status, in how much power we have in today's world. It's just amazing. And I believe that beauty pageants, although they started with um, especially promoting your exterior beauty in the beginning, and there are these stereotypes that we need to combat and just prove wrong. I think it's amazing that we have come from that, and from women throughout history being uh, objectified or just not taken seriously because they were beautiful, although they were very smart. And there are numerous and numerous examples of beautiful women recognized, having been formally recognized by officials for being beautiful, that were later just ignored because people thought they weren't serious about their life, or about their just some things that you reading you find absolutely
Surprise.
wow. Yeah, surprising to see just how much we have improved. Right now, I believe that beauty pageants are the strongest, or maybe even the biggest platform women can raise up their voice, empower themselves and other women, be a spokesperson, just show how beautiful they are inside out. I believe beauty pageants have become such a strong platform because look, we're here, we're talking. You have talked to numerous misses, and you have seen hundreds of contestants and saw their intellect, saw their minds. And that's amazing because we have the chance to speak up,
Yeah.
to show what we think, what we feel, that we're serious, that we have a purpose. I heard this expression, beauty with a purpose, and that's it. And I believe that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I find amazing. And I wish to be a beauty with purpose, to show people just how powerful we are together.
Yes, and that's very interesting. And I have to remark your professional career because I'm a history lover, and when you're talking about many role models that have been in your life, in your professional life, do you have any particular person in history, queen or not, but can be the perfect role model in your purpose in life as Miss Romania in the next Miss Universe?
Well, you can guess that I look very much up to feminine figures throughout history. One of my biggest role models, and that I admire very much, and that if I would get the chance to have a chat with, would be Queen Mary of Romania. She's up to this date known as Mother Mary, or the Mother Queen for Romanians. And I believe that's amazing. She just showed so much support for Romanians, although she was brought up in a foreign country. She wasn't from Romania. She loved the Romania and her traditions so much that she dressed almost every day in our national costume, just to show support. And throughout the World War, she was there for our warriors, for our soldiers, supporting them, healing them. And it's such an iconic figure in our history.
And
And
I
if I would get the chance, although I'm not a formal queen, but who knows, I would want to be like her, or I would love to have the chance to talk to
I
her.
think
or just to know
I think I read a little bit
the
about her. I think she was one of the great granddaughters of Queen Victoria of England,
yes,
and she
yes.
was very advanced. She was not that part of the century or the of the year. She was looking forward on the future.
She was a visionary.
She's, I'm
Yes,
sorry,
she was a visionary.
a vision.
She looked further than the next day or the next month or the next year. She would look very much in the future. She acted on that basis, knowing how will my actions from now affect the future, not tomorrow or the day after
But
tomorrow.
not everybody
In
loved
the
her. Not everybody thought that she was a visionary. Probably they think that she wasn't the correct or the proper uh, lady or girl or a madam. She was probably a transgressor, and I think it makes her a little bit more controversial, but a little bit, at the same time loved by the people.
Well, you know what it said. Most oftenly, bad comments are given, and if you don't have bad comments, it means something you're doing is not right. So I believe that controversy just shows how much of an influential person she was. And having international fans or international criticism is already a big thing because it means your actions had their voice or had their impact even on the outside world of Romania.
That's
And visionarism is usually not seen by our contemporaries.
mhm.
I mean, the people we are talking with right now, even if we are heroes or true visionaries, they might not see us like that.
Yeah.
But their grandkids or their children might see us as visionaries. And that's a quality of her that I adore. And Tip, my national costume, is going to be inspired by her.
And let me ask you something. In your professional career, have you ever learned? Have you ever know who was in in a physical aspect? Who was the most beautiful queen in the world around in all history?
Well, queens were actually people when electing queens or having queens, they would really look after the body figure, but they wouldn't look for the standards that we have right now. They would look more for motherly like
Hmm?
figures, wide hips or a big chest, to say it like that, just to show them the people that they are meant to be mothers, they can be mothers, uh, because in their time, these measurements were what defined a good mother. Standards have changed, obviously. I believe queens throughout the time have proven themselves. Um, one role model that I had, or that I really looked up into history to see more about her was, for example, Queen Teresia of Hungary, Austria, and Bohemia. Um, she was a very iconic figure in her times because she was the king or the queen of three countries at the same time, almost having an empire. And she was also seen as a very good-looking woman
Hmm.
back in her time. She had many not successors. Um, how do I call it? Many men coming to be her partner because of how good looking she was, and that's amazing because you see the standards they had compared to the standard right now, and I don't know, it's amazing. Queen Teresia is definitely one woman that proved herself, proved her power in front of the world. So I believe she would be one figure to name in this question you asked.
And you know what? I think even that today, as we are in a modern years, it's very hard for a woman to express herself and to be feminist, a real feminist. I think all those ladies all around in history that has been um, famous, successful, and empowered, it makes their role in their moment in their lives even more important than today's. For example, in Middle Ages years, to have queens or uh, like public figures that has been like a role model for the world. I think it makes them their work even more important than today's. What do you think about Joan von Arc or even Queen Elizabeth I, that they have to be strong in a world, in a man's world?
Well, the truth is that even although it was a man's world, it was a much rougher place.
Mm-hmm.
The world back then was a much rougher place to live in, and there was very many things expected even for a king, not to say for a queen. As you said, they lived in a man's world, but I believe all these figures being named in history and we learn about them means that they had their impact. That's the meaningful thing about them. Of course, there was a lot asked from them, starting from education to their posture to how they talked to they had many special courses in diplomacy,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to deal with many kings, and who knows what diplomatic relations were there, and how tensionated that they could get. Um, but in a way, what was more difficult for them, because these things are asked from men too, being king. What was difficult from them was the perspective or the stereotypes of women in their societies,
Mm-hmm.
and they proved wrong. That's amazing. They managed to prove wrong all those people, although there were many conspiracy theories or many gossips, but in the large perspective that we learn about them right now and have them as examples, just means they did the right thing,
Yeah.
and that's amazing.
And
It
one of the things that makes more amazing your participation in Miss Universe pageant is that we have been talking about a lot of things related with your professional career and your stories in history, and we haven't talked any single word about your preparation, and it makes you so charming and not just the typical beauty queen. So, are you concerned that did you realize that you are not the typical beauty queen?
Well, I might not be the typical queen, but I believe that's the beautiful thing about beauty pageants, that we are all different. There is this diversity. That we all have our passions, our cultures. We come from different uh, cultural backgrounds, from different societies, and we all will meet up at Miss Universe this December, and that's amazing. And I believe that a beauty queen shouldn't have a standard. You shouldn't be meeting certain measurements, or you shouldn't be uh, restricted in what you think on what your conceptions are, on what you want to say, on what legacy you fight for. I believe that me having this passion for history just makes me maybe unique
Yeah,
in the group of over 70 girls that will meet in ALAT.
and it
So,
and it makes you so special. And even that you have like in your intellectual side, you're very prepared. Tell me about your I don't know, the rest of your preparation to be the next Miss Universe or the first Miss Universe from Romania. Tell me about your I don't know, your diet, your exercise plan, or even how do you practice your catwalk and all that stuff. A little bit more. Uh, I don't know, more pageantry.
well, you can say for sure that I obviously looked for a pageant coach. Hopefully, I met a pageant coach for my Q&A sessions, for my mock interviews, for my pageant speech, and he has helped me in these 2 weeks in bettering my performance in speaking,
Mm-hmm.
I too took walking lessons, or how do you call it, for Miss Universe. But given the pandemic situation here in Romania and all public spaces being closed down, you can't rent a space, you can't have activities inside because of the rate we have here in Romania. But I managed though to have some practices for my pageant walk. I will post some videos soon, but I just feel I need to prepare it more. I'm a perfectionist and I want everything to be perfect and look perfect. As for posing, I believe my modeling history has helped me a lot. And as for diet and exercise program, I find myself very busy. I try to eat as healthy or as effective as I can. I need to keep myself in shape. And although I am guilty of not visiting the gym in the last 4 days, but I promise I'll get back on it. It's just that my schedule in this, uh, given the fact that we have 2 weeks left until my departure, it all has been just very, very busy. And we were busy on planning my dose, the third dose for my vaccine that I had to take earlier than prescribed.
Uh-huh.
And it just got all messy a bit, but I promise we'll figure it out. We have some videos to film for Miss Universe that you will see in the up close videos, and yeah, a lot to schedule, a lot to do in so little time.
But you don't have to be,
But I guess that's just the beauty.
you don't have to feel guilty because everything that you're doing it great. You are charming, you are very elegant, very eloquent, and we
Thank
love
you.
your culture. We love the way you talk about uh, the history with that passion, to with the passion that we all need to know about the people and the situation in the past that make us like a better society. So, Miss Romania, thank you so much for having this time with me. I hope you're feeling comfortable with my questions, and say
I feel very good. I can't believe it's over so soon.
well. We spoke for a half an hour, and it was perfect.
Already.
Already,
Oh my God.
I could speak to you like half an hour more, but I have to TV live show to do right now because we work in the same field. Also, I heard that I read that you work on TV also.
Yes, I work on TV and radio too, so maybe we can have a chat sometime.
Yes. Well, I
Maybe I can question you next time.
yes, you can have an interview with me. Well, I have to do my makeup and I have to have a little bit
Of
of
course.
lunch. And then I'm going to be live in my show, Suelta la Sopa, through Telemundo. That is the most important channel, and actually the TV channel for Miss Universe in Spanish in United States.
I know. I know. That's why I was so honored when I received your message. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe. Like, is he for real? Lucha just texted me. And I was like on a frenzy right back then.
I'm the one
So thank
who's
you so much for having me.
No, I'm the one who's honored having you and to share this passion for history. Let me tell you that I'm subscribed to many um, channels in YouTube through YouTube that talks to about different persons in history in life. The only problem is that I always start to watching the biography or many of this person. I fell asleep, but even that I am enjoying it.
I know what you're saying. History can get, if not presented properly and in a fun manner, you tend to get sleepy
No,
sometimes.
but
I admit that.
I love it. I love it. I like a last question. I would like to know if you have to pick any of the ladies on royal families all around the world or Europe, who could be the best for you, the best person, not just in the way she dresses or the way she acts, the way she expressed like a modern royal. a royal queen or a royal person?
I would admit that I look very much up to Kate Middleton. I take her as a role model in her ethics, in the way she dresses, in the way she acts. I believe she's a very suitable woman to take the crown or to be
The next queen
uh,
of England.
the queen. Yes, yes, and I believe very much in her. She's amazing. She's done great, and so far she hasn't disappointed anyone, and has taken part in various humanitarian actions. She just Bianca used to say this. She acts like a queen,
Yes,
although she isn't one. She acts like a queen.
I agree with you totally. And I think in this moment in their lives, when Prince Harry left England with his new wife, with his wife, Meghan Markle, and not being like, hmm, like part of the family that we expected they were. I think Meghan Markle and Prince William are increasing their assets and in the public opinion because they're doing great. They're doing like uh, like a very responsible part of a royal house.
Well, that is subject to many discussions as Meghan Markle and Harry have taken their life in their hands, to say so. I believe they made their choice, and to say if that's right or not, it's a bit premature. But that's right, not Meghan, Kate Middleton and Prince William have done a great job so far with all the pressure coming from all directions. So I believe that's even the more reason to admire them.
Yes, yes. And you listen, I'm talking to you. I'm thinking, constantly thinking in one of my our biggest, huge stars in Latin America, a singer called Gloria Trevi. You know who she is?
I heard of her, yes.
Gloria Trevi is very similar to you. You have to look at her because you have the well the same beauty, very similar, and you could be a perfect Latin American beauty queen because you look like Latin girls.
Well, I love Latin America and I look forward to coming to visit. You can know for sure that. And comparing me to her, that's an honor. Thank you.
And have you ever been in Latin America or never?
Not yet, not yet. I only began traveling at 18 years old, so 2 years ago. But having started university and my various projects, I couldn't find time yet to also plan a visit to Latin America. But who knows? As I said earlier, it's amazing where life brings you.
Yes, definitely. And maybe as the first Miss Universe from Romania, you can have the chance to work all over the world.
Well, that would be amazing. That would be a dream come true.
There is any place in particular that you want to know, that you want to be, that you want to visit?
Well, I would want to visit all the world. That's my life goal, to make the world tour. Not especially in 1 year, but
As a history lover and have you? I think it has a special meaning for you that Miss Universe is going to be held in Israel.
yes, you can know that for sure. And being a Christian, all the more so. Israel is known to us as a sacred country, so stepping on their land is just thrilling. And I can't wait to meet Tel Aviv, to meet Eilat, and to meet the Israeli culture. I'm sure I love it.
And did you have any talk or any chat with any of the other contestants from Europe or from some other place in the world?
Well, we have our WhatsApp group chat where we share ideas, we share projects, we talk to each other, we support each other because that's the most important thing. Some of us face some hard times, and I believe that the support of the others is very meaningful in these situations and very important.
Yeah, well, and for me, it has been very important this time with you. Now I have to run, but everything, every
I have to run.
every single word that I have with you, every single um, conversation. Part of this conversation has been very nice because knowing a different girl, a different perspective from me for being a beauty queen makes my career a little bit more interesting because you are not just a typical beauty queen, and I have to remark on that as a big compliment because even that I have been doing interviews with lovely girls, very smart, very beautiful, and with wonderful careers. Also, I love to be talking with a girl from Romania that loves history the same way that I love history and how to use your professional career in a beauty pageant.
That's right. I also enjoyed very much this interview with you. And I enjoyed every question you asked me, and I can't believe it passed so soon. But I hope for sure we'll have another chat
I
sometime
will
soon.
definitely, and I'm always here. And whenever you want to talk, to have another talk with me, I will be honored to have another interview, or maybe be an interview by you.
Yes, maybe. I would for sure love to have you as my interview.
Thank you so much, Carmina Cotfas from Romania, for this chat with me in this live mis comentarios, and hopefully to join me also and the next interviews with with the others, some other contestants for Miss Universe pageant.
Sure, I'll see you there.
Ciao.
Thank you so much again. Have a great time. Have a good time on the show you're going on right now. And let's hear from each other soon. Have a nice
Un
evening.
beso. Ciao.
Thank you.